Hello and welcome to another update video on Bitcoin. I wanted to take a moment here on the daily chart to explain the different structures again. Got a question from one of our members on our Discord server in our community chat. So it's just a great way of asking questions, and so it always gives me the opportunity to address these in videos, but I want to do that for everybody's benefit. So we'll start on the daily time frame and then take a look at the smaller time frame. I'm amazed how much Bitcoin is struggling. I mean, the idea was still for lower prices to unfold. We will take a look at that on the smaller time frame, but Bitcoin cannot even generate a larger bounce. That surely is also, to a degree at least, related at the moment to the pressure in the stock market. But overall, the pattern has not shown any meaningful bounce yet anyway. There hasn't been any strength. There hasn't been any impulsive strength. No five-wave move up, as I always say. We need to see a five-wave move up to indicate a low of sorts is in place. Both counts still point towards lower prices. We are, though, in an area where a bounce could occur at any point. I shared it yesterday that daily RSI is oversold. Or we talked about that in yesterday's video. But the focus here is now on the different wave counts. So if a bull market has topped, what are the pathways? First of all, let's talk about the bullish count. There is still a bullish count. From the April low, I can still call this a 1-2 setup. Now, this is not a prediction. This is simply a scenario. And the scenario needs to validate itself, needs to prove itself. We have 5 waves up from the April low. We have a pullback that still looks overall corrective. And so we haven't maxed out what a wave 2 can do. The wave 2 can technically go all the way down to the April low, but ideally shouldn't break below the 78.6 retracement. Ideally shouldn't break below 83K. But it is a 1-2 setup that still allows for higher prices. We shouldn't ignore that. But you cannot be bullish in the short term as long as we're still in a downtrend. I hope that's clear. I wrote a small post about that today in our membership on Discord, in our membership area, about how people see everything as either bullish or bearish. That's not how markets work. Like, people love to have the certainty, the security. They want to have control, right? Can you tell me, is it bullish or bearish? Yesterday I received a message on X. When will you finally assign the label bear market? Not exactly like that, but I'm calling it because it really is just a label. It's useless, right? The market is not a bull market or a bear market. The market is a process, guys. We have to stay in the present. What is the market doing right now? It's in a correction. It's been in a correction for weeks. We've been tracking downside for weeks. I haven't called a low in place yet. I'm starting to accumulate slowly, absolutely, because I know how quickly things in the crypto sector can change. And I know that when the RSI is oversold on the daily, it typically generates a bounce from this region. That doesn't mean that I see a bullish structure in the very short term. So the trend is still down. But we are in the area where in the very short term, at least this wave 4 bounce should start. Okay, what are the, so I talked about the bullish count. It's possible, I'm not ruling out another high, absolutely not, but I need to see the structure of the next bounce. If it's clearly a 3-wave move, we're still getting another low. So how does all of this fit together? By the way, let me shift this a little bit to the side here. Okay, well, we don't need these targets on the larger time frame. Okay, now, and let's also delete the 55-week EMA. We don't need it at this point. I wanna remove what we don't need anymore. By the way, the 55-week EMA, just like the 50-week EMA or 50-week SMA or something, a lot of people use moving averages. It's just a support level, okay? That got lost, of course, it indicates weakness, but it's not like a bull-bear flip switch, okay? Yep, we have weakness. We know that, but we know that from structure as well. Now, the 2 scenarios that I'm really tracking that might confuse people are orange and yellow. Important is just to understand that in the yellow scenario, I'm highlighting that we could form a meaningful low at any point if the decline is a WXY structure, and the Y wave is an ABC structure and can form a low at any point. Whereas, and that's an A wave in 3 waves, WXY. The A wave can also unfold like this in 5 waves down. I don't want to become too technical, but basically it will also be A, B, and then the C wave in 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So that is basically 5 waves down. Both are possible, and the orange count is the one that's preferred. I said that many times. So I will watch, first of all, for a wave 4 bounce. But we don't even have evidence that this wave 4 has started, okay? And it was also not expected yet to start. So hopefully that clears up some of the confusion. Let's go to the shorter time frame. On the smaller time frame, I said to you, in this third wave, Roman numeral 3, we should get one more low in circle 5. What I thought might happen, potentially, is a larger 4, circle 4. But again, not yet Roman numeral 4, probably not yet. And so it looks like it's following that idea that Roman numeral 3 gets one more low. Important is there is no impulsive strength. This move up was a 3-wave move. And with a 3-wave move, it fulfilled the minimum requirements for circle 4, as I explained in the last video. But a lot of weakness still. And so my view at the moment is we already topped in circle 4. We're already in that circle 5 that was meant to happen. What could have happened, what technically still can happen, that's why I mention it, is still a wider circle 4. We can always move back into resistance. Yeah, that's possible. Even though it doesn't look like it right now. But we're currently forming it's not a double bottom because it hasn't formed the bottom, but we're just testing the lows from this week. So if we lose this, next support levels are 87,750. But looking at the microstructure, it looks like it might want to go to round about 85 to 86K into this area here around the next FIPS, 85,800 to be more precise. And then the area around 83K down there would be the next cluster of support. So yeah, pressure appears to be downward still. What can I say? Not unexpected, but I'm amazed how much Bitcoin is struggling down here. So pressure is downward. And the yellow count can form a low at any point. That's just what it means. But we can't, but again, orange is preferred. And we can't confirm a low until we break above resistance in 5 waves. There are typically 2 things I'm watching for to confirm a trend reversal. The first one is a 5-wave advance, but it needs to be large enough, and that's the second point, to break above resistance. So that should clear it up. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit a like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in additional updates, then also check out our X channel for additional updates, news, and much more. There are also exclusive videos there, additional stuff about mindset, Elliott Wave. So check it out. Hope you enjoyed the update. I'll leave a link in the comment section. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.